welcome. Namaste. I'm Ariana Pachati, the owner of the Palm Beach Yogi. In this yoga class, we're going to be focusing on the lower back and opening the hips. Really great for anyone experiencing some pain. I guess it depends on the pain, but just some tightness and tension in those areas. We're going to begin in a comfortable seated position. So when you're ready, hop on your yoga mat and meet me here. Any comfortable seated position is fine. Easy pose, Sukhasana, maybe a half lotus, whatever you're feeling. Connect with the breath. Soften the lower belly. Lengthen the spine. Maybe tuck the chin in just slightly so the back of the neck lengthens. The shoulders melt. And just notice the level of tension in the shoulders when you bring awareness there and you think shoulders relax. Is there tension? Is there buildup? Is there something trying to pull them up and hold them up? Just soften. Bringing this level of awareness through the body. Softening the lower belly even more. Take your right hand and place it on the lower belly. Take your left hand and place it on the center of the chest. Breathe. Notice the expansion and contraction of your belly and your chest as you breathe. You can feel the rise and fall. Your eyes are open. Relax your hands back down in your lap or on your knees. Just bring your right ear towards the right shoulder. Breathe into the left side of the neck. Take your left arm out to the side, parallel with the floor, palm facing down. And then start to flex the hand so the fingers are pointing up, palm facing to the side. Press the energy from the shoulder through the arm, out through the palm. Notice if there's that kind of tension, that line of tension. Breathe into it. If you need to keep your hand flat, that's okay if this is too intense. This can be very intense, especially if you are on the computer or breastfeeding or you're sleeping funny or you're hunching or your shoulders, whatever work you're in or creative action and you're really hunching or tightening or closing off this area. All right, bring your hand back down. Bring the chin to the chest. And then bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Same thing. Breathe into the right side of the neck. Ooh, I feel like I'm echoing. And then bring the right arm out, parallel with the floor, palm facing down. And then when you're ready, flex that hand. Fingers are pointing up, pressing the energy, shooting out from the shoulder through the arm, out through the palm. Keep that lower belly nice and soft and open. Keep breathing into it. Relax the hand back down, roll the chin to the chest. Bringing the head back up to center, interlacing the fingers together, and then flipping the palms facing up, pressing them out in front of your chest, and then start to bring the arms up. Over the head, maybe behind the ears. Maybe you press the chest forward slightly for a little baby back bend, focusing on really elongating and like lifting up and out of the lower back, lifting up and out of the ribs, opening the chest, not just crunching into the lower back. It's all about open. Press the energy through the palms. then release the arms back down. Bring it into some counterclockwise circles. And the hands are on the knees. Inhaling, pressing the chest forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, round the spine. Bring it back, chin to chest. Inhale, press everything forward, opening the front part of the body. Exhale, rounding back. Keep it going, very intentional, like you're moving through honey. Breathe. Come back to center. Switch the direction of your circles by inhaling, pressing the chest forward in a clockwise direction, and exhaling, rounding back, same thing. Good, meeting me back into center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the right hand down, go over to the right, stretch the left side body. Inhale up, arms up. Exhale, left hand down, over to the left, stretch the right side body. Inhale up, arms up, and exhale, twist to the right. Oh, I love it when it cracks. But even that thought is such a distracting thought. Inhale back to center, arms sweep all the way up, gather the energy in between the palms, and then exhale, twist to the left. Good, back to center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Bring the energy in between the palms. Press the palms together. Bring them down the midline to heart center. Relax. Spread the legs out wide. Come onto the wide side of the mat. Oh. Very tight today. Very tight. So just spread the legs open. Start out in a really just simple part of the pose, really maybe easy for you. Maybe the knees are bent, maybe the heels are pressing down and the knees are bent and you're just kind of opening up that space, or maybe the legs are straight. That's cool. Okay, adjust yourself however you need to. When it becomes easier, adjust deeper into the pose or vice versa. So you can start to fold over here, but I really want you to bring your awareness to the hips, the inner thighs, the connective tissue towards the pelvis, the base of the spine, the root chakra, and kind of start to roll the inner thighs in and down towards the mat, and maybe even flexing part of the butt to open up the base of the spine, if that makes sense. So when you flex it, kind of opens up that space by the booty hole, okay? By the base of the spine, where it's at. You want it to open up. When you flex and kind of hold it and allow that space to open as you fold deeper, and imagining the energy running through the spine, up through the spine, through the crown of the head, as you continue to fold and as you continue to breathe, feel the energy, intentionally press the energy through the legs, up the spine. Inhale, rise up. Bend your knees, start to scoot your heels in close towards the body, and then slowly transition to tabletop. I'm gonna pick up the music here very soon. It's just this nice simple warm up. Just move some cat-cows. Inhale, lift the buttocks, chest, and chin. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. And hold. Keep breathing. Continue to lift. Continue to breathe. On the next exhale, start to round. Hold here and continue to breathe. Chin into the chest, really stimulating that thyroid. Back to tabletop. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the hips. Maybe bend one knee and then the other. Just find some space here, create room. And then inhale, lift the right leg up high. Exhale, step that right foot to the outside of the right hand. Maybe place that left knee down, lizard pose. Stay on your palms, or you can be on a block, or you can come down to the forearms, but keep hugging that knee in towards the shoulder. I'll show you what it looks like from another view. So this knee isn't popping out, it's hugging in towards the shoulder. Stay here and breathe. Let's turn up the music. If you want to come deeper with me, come up to your palms. Keeping the left palm pressing into the mat, the right palm to the inside of that right knee or thigh. Flexing the right foot, start to press the knee open, coming onto the outer edge of the right foot. So now you're pressing that leg open. Careful of the joints here. You can always tuck the back toes under to protect that back knee a little bit more. Keep breathing into the lower belly. Place the right foot back down, hands on the mat. Tuck those left toes under, lift the left knee. The back knee is lifted. Place that back foot on the mat, parallel with the back of the mat, okay? We're gonna bend the left knee and make it over into a side squat. So the left knee is bent, the right leg is either straight, your hands are reaching out in front of you, or the fingers are on the ground and your hips can be more up like this. But keep a slight bend in this right knee and flex the foot. Now we're opening this area. We're still focusing on this right hip as well as the left hip flexor. For an optional bind, this left arm can reach in front of the left shin, getting the armpit, the back of the armpit, in towards the knee and wrapping it around the leg. The right arm reaches up and behind the back, interlacing fingers or grabbing for the wrist. That left hand grabs for that right wrist. And then you start to, the goal is to get the spine nice and straight. Heart and chest is open, not collapsing. If you have the bind, start to release the bind. Have your fingertips on the mat. Bring your weight forward onto your hands first, and then place the right foot down. Come into warrior two. So now you're up. The right knee is bent 90 degrees. You're gazing over the right middle finger. Flip the right palm up, reach forward, reverse the warrior. So left hand, left thigh. Now we're opening that right hip flexor. Keep breathing. On the exhale, when it's comfortable, maybe you go back farther, or maybe you feel that tension and resistance and it's enough. And you stay in that same spot and you let the mind relax and stay focused and just breathe. Maybe take it a little bit farther by straightening that front leg, continuing to reach back. Bend into that front knee again, back into warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. Gaze over the right middle finger. Wheel the hands down to the mat. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Step the right foot back, high plank. Place the knees down, lower the chest and the chin down. Inhale to a baby cobra, opening the chest, opening the heart and the throat. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhale up to tabletop. And then exhale, crisscross your ankles, sit back. So you're sitting on your butt. Make your way down to your back like you're going into Shavasana, but instead we're taking a happy baby. So bend your knees. Your arms come onto the insides of the knees. And then your hands reach for the top outer edge of the feet. So your elbows are in the insides of your legs, but you're grabbing the outer edges of the feet. However you find it comfortable, grab the feet and start to pull the knees down towards the mat. Really opening up the pelvis, opening the hips, opening the root and sacral chakras. Maybe tucking the chin in towards the chest, really elongating that neck here, relaxing and releasing the tension. Feel free to rock from left to right, giving yourself a little massage here. Notice if the kidneys feel sore or if there's any muscles around the ribs that feel tight. Option here to grab for the heels from the inside and start to extend the legs, keeping the toes flexed, so they're not pointed, they're flexed, so we're protecting the knees. And we're just staying here and opening. You don't have to really reach your max either. They can be bent and just kind of opening, finding that place where there's that resistance and just letting gravity take its course and just opening up. Notice your energy field here. Notice how it's feeling like there's pressure coming from the top, but it's also lifting it at the same time. And just imagining that all the fascia is releasing from that pressure and that attachment to that energy. And everything's just flowing open through the legs. Gravity's pulling them down. The tension at the base of the spine is opening. Breathing golden light into all of these spaces. Bending the knees, hugging the legs in towards the chest. Grab the backs of your knees and rock and roll yourself up to a seated position and then into tabletop and downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up this time. Exhale, step it to the outside of the left hand. Place the right knee down. Lizard pose on this side. Trying to match what you did on the other side to this side so you can balance the body out. So if you came down to your forearms, if it's comfortable, come down. If there's no pain, you might feel a little bit of pinching as far as that hip flexor, the left one. But if there's pinching inside the joint, then back off. But if it's just a new sensation because it's closed in so much, but it's not creating that actual uh-oh pain, breathe into it. Sometimes we think of tension as like, oh, pain, pain, pain. Like pain inside the joint and like that heat and that pinching inside of the joint, that's a dangerous place to be, right? But when like you're opening and lengthening, flexing and extending, you just need to send breath there until it opens. If you want to come deeper with me, come up to your palms, place the right palm down, the left hand to the inside of that thigh or the knee, just not really pressing on the joint itself and just pressing the leg open. It can roll onto the outer edge of the foot, so the foot's kind of opening. You can see the bottom of the foot. Maybe you're opening the chest. Maybe you look up and make it just like, open, vulnerable, sensational. Bring the left foot back down, hands are on the mat, tuck the right toes under, lift that right knee, and then you're gonna make your way back to a side squat. So plant the right foot down on the mat. Bend the right knee, bring your weight onto the right side. Straighten the left leg, micro bend in the knee, but the toes stay flexed. You can start to point them if you are very sure of your own self and your knee, okay? Pay attention to your own body. If it's safe for you, you can point those toes, straighten the leg. Maybe you have your arms out in front of you or your hands down for support. Maybe your heel is down on the mat, maybe it's lifted. Maybe you take a bind and this right arm reaches in front of that right shin and the left arm reaches up and behind the back and you grab for the left wrist or you interlace the fingers. If you're in the bind, have your hands back down on the mat and make your way into warrior two. That front knee is bent and you're up. Arms are extended. Gaze over the left middle finger. Flip the left palm up, reach forward, reverse the warrior. Maybe you straighten that front leg as you continue to reach back for a reverse triangle. Bending that front leg back into warrior two, gaze over the left middle finger. Couple breaths here. From your warrior two, windmill the hands down to the mat, come onto the ball of the back foot. Back to high plank, lower the knees, chest and chin down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale up to tabletop. And then we're gonna exhale into a frog pose. So I'm gonna come onto the wide side of the mat, separate my knees wider than hip width distance apart, and then get my feet wider than my knees. If that's not comfortable, you can bring your feet in closer together. From here, your palms start to press into the ground, pressing yourself back, like a centimeter at a time, or maybe an inch at a time. Very deep opener here, so just breathe. Feel free to come down to your forearms. And same thing, just put that little bit of pressure on and opening up those parts of the hips. The complete circle, right, around the entire leg. We're focusing on all of the parts. If you're on your forearms, slowly come up to your palms. Start to bring your toes in towards each other. Very slowly exit this pose. I like to bring my weight, shift it forward onto my hands, then bring my toes together. Then sit my hips back on my heels. Make my body up, and then bring the legs in towards each other, closing the knees. Very slow movements here. Meeting me in tabletop. An extended tabletop, so bring your hands out farther in front of you, beyond the shoulders, and begin some circles. So we're gonna bring the hips down on the inhale, bring them back up on the exhale. If just doing smaller circles in a tabletop is easier for you, you can do so. Whatever is comfortable, whatever range of motion. Work with that today. Switch the direction of your circles when you're ready. That is so great. Meeting me in a tabletop and then a downward facing dog. Inhale to high plank. Knees, chest, and chin come down. Hands stay under the shoulders, peel the chest up for cobra. With the intention that the hips are pressing down and towards the mat, you can do that with your feet wide apart, so you're opening up that lower back if there's crunching or pain. You don't need to be better at yoga by injuring your lower spine, okay? That's compression. It's not cool. You can open up those feet, or you can close the feet and bring the toes together, or the toes and the heels. Poka, no. My cat, don't touch the microphone. And just staying here and breathing. It's not so much of a back bend as it is a front body opener. Come on, Poka. Child's pose when you're ready. Make your way up into tabletop and down onto your back. A couple of stretches before Shavasana. Come on, Polka girl. Down on your back. Keep your both feet are bent in towards the body. I mean, the feet are on the mat. That's what I mean. Straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers behind the right thigh or the right calf, but please do not do it behind the knee. Start to pull the leg in towards the center of the chest. And then when you find that depth, that place where you can't seem to come down any farther, then start to bring it towards the right shoulder and out. And then start to create a circle. So the leg starts to guide you up. You bring it in towards the center of the chest, and then in towards the shoulder, and then back out, okay? So we're pulling this leg in towards the center of the chest, in towards the right shoulder, and then back out. Good, now hold it in, pulling the leg in towards the armpit. Keep it there and breathe. Extend that left leg flat down, or at least get the heel down on the mat. Bend the right knee. The left hand grabs the right knee and pulls it across the body. So now you're twisting. The right leg goes over to the left. You look at the right hand. Press the right shoulder down into the mat as you twist. Keep the shoulders plugged down, and then one day the knee will touch. Come back to center, plant both feet on the mat in towards the butt. Straighten the left leg up towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers behind the thigh or the calf. Start to pull the leg in towards the center of the chest. Find that place where you can't quite seem to come down any farther. There's that tension, the resistance, you're breathing. And then bring the leg over towards the left armpit or the left shoulder. And then the leg comes back out. So now we're making circles, pulling the left leg in towards the center of the chest, and then over towards that left armpit, and then back out. And if there's a part of it that's really not comfortable for you, play with your hand positioning, play with the size of the circle that you're creating, or really the oval. The depth of the pull, maybe you need to back off, maybe you go deeper. Listen to your body. Now pause and keep pulling the leg in towards that left armpit or the left shoulder. Straighten that right leg out so it's on the mat, and then bend the left knee. The right hand grabs the left knee, pulling the leg over towards the right. Sorry, Polka. Twisting, both shoulders are on the mat. Look at the left hand. One day the knee will touch, but you don't want the knee to touch first and then the shoulder. You want to keep the shoulders down and rotate, so that way you're really twisting from the middle of the back. You never want to twist from the lower back. That is not a place that we want that twist coming from. Are you twisting too, Polka Kitty? No, don't claw my butt. Ow, don't claw my butt. No, Polka, no. Come back to center, hug the knees in towards the chest. Straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. And then lower them down for final pose, Shavasana. I will guide you through Shavasana. So your feet can be hip-width distance apart or wider. I like to go wider. Palms facing up. Close the eyes, bring the awareness to the feet, and think feet relaxed. Legs relaxed. Your hips, your belly, your entire spine relaxed. Your rib cage, your chest, your shoulders, arms, hands, relaxed. The neck, the jaw, the cheeks, and the forehead, tip of the nose, the eyelids, relaxed. And finally, the mind. Think mind, relax. Mind, relax. Shavasana. Your awareness to your breath. Deepen the breath. Breathing life back into every cell of the body. Breathing in frequencies of focus, stability, and contentment into the mind. Softly rolling onto the right side of the body. And slowly pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Meeting me in a comfortable seated position with the eyes closed. Bring your hands together at heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me in this video and today. I wish you healing. I wish you peace. I wish you joy and contentment. Practice and all is coming. Namaste.